Hey humans, this is Monster69 and this is my Shadow of War review. Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome. This is Monster69 and my Shadow of War review. Sorry it's taken so long to upload this video. I've just had so many games to play. I don't know which way to look. I think we are very blessed as gamers at the moment, to be honest. So, but I finally finished Shadow of War. So yeah, let's start with the white elephant in the room, shall we say, and that is the presence of microtransactions. Now, I was a little bit disappointed to see microtransactions. I'm not a big fan at all of them. There is a few. I mean, I do realize that's the way that the industry's going, but there's a few kind of red lines that I really don't like about microtransactions when they're implemented the wrong way. One of them is if you're paying full price for a game, I don't really think that you need to have microtransactions when someone pays full price, but there you go. And the second thing is, in single player games, I don't really see the need of microtransactions either. So in both of those regards, I was very disappointed. And the final sort of factor is that I'm a really big Lord of the Rings fan, and I was just a little bit saddened, let's say, when I saw what I view as a bit of a marketing stunt or an experiment in a J.R.R. Tolkien franchise game. The good news is, though, guys, have no fear, and I do give credit to the developers, who are Monolith Productions, by the way, for pretty much allowing you to ignore the whole microtransaction mechanic. You still get legendary items. I still felt powerful enough at the end of the game to finish off the game. So I don't think there is a need to actually interact with the microtransaction system. So I recommend, guys, don't put fuel on the fire and just ignore the whole mechanic, and hopefully it'll go away. Who knows? Obviously, story-wise, guys, you're still playing Talion the Ranger, and this is a direct continuation from Shadow of Mordor. You're still Talion the Ranger. You still have Celebrimbor, the elf spirit within you, and you're pretty much running around the countryside trying to take over Mordor from the grasp of the forces of Sauron. You're also, I think, looking for the Palantir Seeing Stone as well, which is a very powerful artifact. So that's the main overarching story. It's a simple premise, and this leads me to my next point of the main addition to this game. You obviously still have the awesome Nemesis system, which is just such a wonderful and unique mechanic where if you get killed by particular orcs, they become your nemesis, and they talk trash to you, and they remember you, and they get promoted up through the ranks, and they're a little bit harder to kill. And I had my own nemesis, which was awesome. I think he killed me twice, then he ran away the third time, then I killed him, then the little bastard came back from death. We had another encounter as well. So these little organic little stories that kind of happen because of the Nemesis system are excellent. They add to the replayability of the game, and everyone's got different stories to share and stuff about their experience in the game. So the Nemesis system is awesome. The other major mechanic that they added, which is not in Shadow of Mordor, is the siege mechanic, where Talion raises an army and he's got to attack these forts and take them back from the warlords and stuff that serve Sauron. Now, the siege mechanic, I was a bit disappointed, guys. It fell flat for me. I found them to be very repetitive and non-strategic. You're running from one circle to another, chopping down a few orcs, taking over that particular zone, and then you go into this, you make it into the throne room, and the throne room bit really agitated me because they all look the same, and for some unexplainable reason, you're the only guy that enters the throne room, despite the fact that you invade the place with a massive army. Your forces bust through the door, your forces climb over the walls, you get into the inner courtyard, you smash open the throne room, and as soon as you step in, I don't know why, but you're the only guy in the freaking throne room, and you have this cliched boss fight, which really broke the immersion of the siege for me anyway, and I found it to be repetitive, and I found it actually to be a bit boring. So the siege mechanic, guys, to me was a great idea, sort of implemented a little bit poorly. Yeah, it didn't really excite me after the second or third one. Now, the story and the lore, well, let me start off by saying that this really just poops all over J.R.R. Tolkien's world. It makes no sense. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this is meant to take place between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. These events, so no one in the Lord of the Rings novels ever mentions anything like this happening. Okay, that's fair enough, let's just ignore that. But then Celebrimbor making another ring, which is used in this game, is a pretty big thing, and it just never happened, so they added that. And then a little bit of a spoiler, guys, so press pause if you have to, but the way Sauron becomes the Red Eye at the end of this game is not how Sauron becomes the Red Eye. In fact, he fights Isildur. Isildur chops his finger off, which they did show in this game, but he comes, like, Sauron comes back again or something. But anyway, Isildur is the one that makes him, gets the ring from him, which means that Sauron couldn't maintain a physical form and went back to Red Eye. But in this game, Sauron is around, and they do show the Isildur scene, but Sauron's still around, and Celebrimbor gets absorbed into him or something at the end of the game, and he turns into a red spirit, into that Red Eye. So yeah, anyway, it just poops all over the lore. It just agitated me. Again, a lot of people won't care, who cares, whatever, but I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan, so I did care. So for me, it kind of annoyed me. I think they should have just, put this game, like, I don't know, after Lord of the Rings, the events of Lord of the Rings, or before the events of The Hobbit, maybe, like thousands of years before, and used Morgoth, which is like Sauron's granddaddy, and used him as an evil guy. And I was intrigued with Shelob, who was presented in female form. Shelob being the spider that guards Sauron's realm of Mordor in Lord of the Rings. In this game, she's very much rebelling against Sauron, and she's helping you out. And I was really hoping for some, I don't know, intriguing storyline where it explains how she ultimately kind of loses and becomes nothing more than really a guard dog for Sauron when we get to the Lord of the Rings time. So, and you know what, that storyline fizzled out and went nowhere. You fight a Balrog in this game, and that just feels shoehorned. There's suddenly a Balrog, and that's quickly dealt with. But yeah, so guys, the story sucked, and the lore didn't make sense. So that's what I'm trying to say, I suppose. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I think, again, the combat is absolutely amazing. Just to summarize, combat is so much fun. It's fluid, it's fast, there's a lot of different strategies you can employ. There's a significant skill tree, which impacts the way you would play the game. So that was amazing. All the different mounts, the drakes you can fly, the Caragors and stuff. It was, awesome as well. The siege mechanic, not so much. Give that a bit of a whatever. Obviously, the Nemesis system is always a standout in this franchise, and the storyline and characters were meh. very average. In fact, below average. No depth to the characters at all. In fact, the best characters are the orcs. And to me, as a massive fan, they were too much of a character. Urukhais are born and bred to kill and destroy humanity and elves, but in this game they were like, you know, funny, charming characters, which I thought was okay, but it was a bit too much for me anyway. Anyway, I give this game, guys, a 3.5 out of 5 human skulls. Oh yeah, this is Monster69, feeling fine, and I'll see you next time, guys. Take care, bye bye.